It's been a while since I've seen you here. That is a song. And this is Animal Crossing New Horizons. My name is Brian Saviano, BricksOBrian. I'm doing this specific video because the island of Nahant is updated a little bit more. And I want to give you a new dream address and tell you what's different about what's going on here. So, I did not do a dedicated video on what actually happened for the latest update in Animal Crossing, one of the latest updates, which was the Mario update, where they added a whole slew of new items into Animal Crossing based on Super Mario. And I'm going to be telling you a little bit about that and what's different with Nahant. Obviously, you can see this over here, maybe a little bit of a clue. But I'm going to go and show you all the different items. I do have all of them. I already have them like out and about and all that. And it's pretty interesting in terms of what's different around here compared to last time. So the way that you get them after updating your game, which if you're watching this, your game is probably updated if you boot this game up for the first time. They will be available for you to buy. If you go into the Nook shopping and you go over to special goods, this section over here has all the various Mario items that exist, okay? And this is quite a bit of items in general. I'm going to move my giant head so you can actually see what these items are. Actually, I'll move it down. I'll move me down here. Oh, I did the whole thing wrong. Nice. Okay, that's not what I wanted. That's not what I... Okay. I'm going to go down... I'm gonna go down here. Okay, now I'm a little itty bitty. So you can see the one-up mushroom. I feel like a little pipsqueak. All right, I got a mushroom block coin. You can see everything here. These are all of the Mario items. There are not going to be any more Mario items added as far as I know. These are not limited time items in any way, but they do exist here. You can order as many of them as you want overall, but you can only order 5 per day, just like with all the other Nook items, so keep that in mind. Yes, the Mario and Luigi shoes are ever so slightly different. You have a floor, rugs, the whole 9 yards. The only thing in here that is customizable are these platforms. The large mushroom platform and the small mushroom platform have different attributes to make them a little bit more spicy. But other than that, everything else is not customizable. Oh, the shell is customizable actually as well. I unfortunately lied to you. I'm sorry. I deceived you once again. Not the mushroom. The shell can be red or green. So there you go. No blue shell, no Yoshi stuff except for the rug, nothing like that. But those are all the Mario items. There was no event or anything like that. It was just, that's it. So there you go. I really wish there was an event or literally, like literally anything else to like let you get these items, but no, nothing at all. So there's all that. And I'm going to walk through the town and just show you what's different. I'll show you the grandmaster idea of what I did over here in a little while. So I did use the Mario items to an extent, but yeah. There's the snowman. I'll just walk through here. Ever so slight things are different in terms of this area. It doesn't get really spicy until a little bit later on. So, actually, you know what? No, I'm not going to walk this way because that's not the most interesting thing here. I'll show you the actual interesting thing right over toward this way. So, I renovated the entire area where there was the apple orchard and whatnot in the top left-hand corner. On the map, you can see over there. It's not there anymore. I actually relocated it over to the very furthest left side, so that way it's still available year-round and looks pretty good where it's at right there. So this is basically a smaller version of what I had in the upper left-hand corner. The apple orchard is over there, all the different pumpkins and everything else. So this section, along with this newly added B section over here, is going to be up throughout the year. The sign is still over here, but the pumpkin carriage is here. Most of the Halloween items are over here because I like them. I just like having them out. Down here is a basketball court, a little bit of a soccer playing field, or football, whatever you want to call it. Iron pull-up bar, things like that. So those are there. This is all permanent, even though this is clearly for the fall season. I like still having it out, which is why it's still there. But now over here is a park on the right side. And instead of having this in the top left-hand corner, the area that I added, which is an area that I talked about in my series way in the very beginning, I was like, man, if they really add some Mario items at some point, I would love to make Super Nintendo World. And in front of a live audience, I did make Super Nintendo World, and I made it using the various Mario items. So if you go all the way over toward here, you can see the beginning portion, actually the entirety, kind of the entirety of Super Mario World. Well, Super Nintendo World. This is based off of what is existing right now in Universal Studios Japan. Will be coming to Florida and California eventually, but obviously with the state of the world and everything, it's not necessarily going according to plan. But as you can see, there's a whole bunch of items available for you to interact with. You have the fire flower there that does make the sound. The one-up mushroom makes the sound, as well as the regular mushroom. The coins you can actually walk through. You do not collect any bells or anything from it, but you can walk through them, which I think is really, really, really cool. That has never happened in any of the other Animal Crossings before. Although you have had Mario items in there, you haven't been able to interact with a coin in this way. And the blocks over here, this one just stays stationary. This one you can walk under, and it actually gives you a coin, which I think is super, super cool. Especially considering in Super Nintendo World, there is blocks that you use the wristband for to, like, hit the top or the bottom of the block to get some coins or points or whatever. In the actual Super Nintendo World as well, there's these augmented reality binoculars that you can put on, and you can look out on the actual world, but then on the inside of the binoculars, you can see Paracoopas flying around and all sorts of other things. You know, working with that. So that's why I put that there. In terms of the outer ridge here, you may notice, yes, all the ridges are here, and basically, when you're in this area, you can't see outside of the area, so you can see some of the mushroom platforms up over here, the variants that are around, exactly the same situation over toward here. Because when you're in Super Nintendo World, you cannot see the world around you. That immersiveness is still there, kind of no matter what. So I wanted to have that feeling when making this area. So when you're in the Super Nintendo World within Animal Crossing, you can't see on the outside world. And you can kind of see what I have done over here. Mushroom platforms, different items, just to make it a bit more of a variety of things. The left side here is a work in progress. I have no idea what would go there, but it's whatever. And this is a similar situation on the other side as well. And obviously, with having the entrance to Super Nintendo World, we have what would be Peach's Castle. Now, a lot of people have made a more realistic Peach's Castle by using the panels to, like, make it actually look like a castle. But I think just using the house with the roof and the design style, this looks as close to Peach's Castle as you can possibly get without breaking the immersion of everything else. So I left that just as it is there. Now, the inside of Peach's Castle is not good at all because I made a third character on my Nintendo Switch. As you can see here, this is Peach's page, so that way the house could be placed there. I have that character with the Peach outfit on and everything else, but there is literally nothing in here. There's literally nothing inside this castle. It is merely for show. And the reason why it's merely for show is because like a lot of the process that would go into this is not necessarily it's not activities that are interesting to me. It's a lot of like gathering random items from across the internet and you know, doing it that way. It's not an interesting process to me. And it's not an interesting process really to anybody. It just takes a lot of time. So it might be something I do eventually, but it wasn't necessarily interesting for me to do. Same thing kind of goes for Super Nintendo World, although I did do this, like I said, with a live audience. Like, it was a matter of just me brainstorming, changing the locations of things, and doing things like that. It wasn't really a thing that I felt like I needed to show the entire process of on camera. It's the equivalent of me fast-forwarding through a video or something, because it's a boring part. And I, as good as I am, talking about nothing constantly while doing videos like this, it doesn't make sense for me to, you know, think on the fly, and if I don't like it, I just change it afterwards. So I just did all of it. So, interesting thing to note here, this is the entrance you can use to go from the main sort of plaza area back toward here. I did make this Peach's Castle pattern. I made that myself. I didn't look up anything online, so I'm very proud of myself. Pat myself on the shoulder there for that one. But if you go into here, you'll notice that there's obviously the warp pipe there, another warp pipe where we exit out of. But if you have multiple warp pipes on your island, then you will get spout out of a random warp pipe. So what I did, because I wanted to have a warp pipe for show, you can see that one right there. So you're like, well, Brian, how do you not pop out of that warp pipe? Because you have multiple on your island. It should work, like you should pop out of there, right? Well, technically, every single block around that warp pipe right over there is not a block or a space that I can go onto as a character, right? So there's items surrounding the entirety of the warp pipe. So because there's no valid blocks there for me to go onto, same thing with, there's another warp pipe, I think, somewhere up here. Because that's a situation up there as well, the only two warp pipes that are able to be spout out of because of the valid blocks, there's space, are this one and the one that I exit out of. So as long as you cover up your spot, your warp pipe with other blocks, meaning shrubs or items or whatever, you'll just pop out of the same two warp pipes. Now, if you put up a coin right there, that doesn't count because the character can still walk on there. But I cannot walk on the space that has the shrub. So you got to put actual items there, not just anything. So flowers won't work, coins won't work. Any block that you can still walk on, that won't count. So you could have street lamps, you could have trees, like whatever you want to do. So there's all that. You can go up over toward that way and access that if you want to. Right from there, you can walk over if you want to. A new thing that they added was the custom designs portal, which was a Nook update to your phone. You can buy with Nook miles here. So now I can create pro designs without going into the Able Sisters shop. But what I'm going to do here is show you what my design code is, because, you know, I have a lot of these designs up here. And in case you haven't seen it across social media, you're just watching this video, you want to see what designs I have, you can look up my creator ID, download any of them you want for your world. I don't care what you do with them. If you want to use the BricksOBrian hoodie, the Peach's Castle, whatever you want to do, all right? So my creator ID is on the bottom left-hand corner right there. If you use that, you can. You can also look them up by individual designs that I'll show you right here. So there's a BricksO phone case, which is what I use for, obviously, the phone case. So there you go. There's the O, which is for the flag. This one is the Peach's Castle design. I put Super Nintendo World, so you can see how that looks right there. I think it looks really good. Again, I didn't use any other design based off of it online. And there's the Bob sweater. So if you want to wear the sweater, you totally can. So yeah, that's pretty much everything there. If I do end up posting more designs, you can look me up by the creator ID if you want to, but I don't foresee myself doing that anytime soon. That could change, who knows. So there's all that. Let me go through the right-hand area and give you one final look at everything else while I'm here. Some minor changes. They did add a couple of items in, one of them being the first year anniversary cake, which this bothers me that I can't place it dead center on this, but I just can't. So that's the only thing they did for a 1-year update to Animal Crossing, is like, oh, here's a cake item. Like, all right, cool, awesome. All sorts of houses. Never got around to getting one of every single flower, but that would be way too much time. There's everything around here. All of these lanes have basically been decked out. So this is the blue and purple lane over here. There's also the orange lane. That is actually the mailbox right here. That's the mailbox for Peach's Castle. So I put that over there because it looks better over here. And because you can put the mailbox anywhere, I figure why not put it over there. So there you go. A lot of this is unchanged over here, other than maybe some flowers here and there occasionally, but nothing too very different around toward these parts. Up toward here, you see more of these Lily of the Valley just scattered everywhere because my island is so good as it is. All these different Nova lamps and whatnot. The, you know, telescope, whatever. The ice lounge is still over here, even though it's probably like 60 degrees in the world of Nahant right now. Actually, it's 60 degrees in real life right now, isn't it? It is 63. So that's pretty good. It's not freezing cold. It's great. The pink, red, purple lane over here. Larry's house, of course. The flower beds had to change because of Super Nintendo World, so this is ever so slightly smaller, but it's fully complete now, except for literally one flower over there that I gotta find, so I'm gonna find one of those real quick. They're probably just scattered throughout here. And then I did end up completing the black and white roses area. Now, I do have an area over here for the gold and black roses, so if they decide to crossbreed, they can. But I highly doubt that at this point, because nothing ever pops out of there, even when I water them every day. I moved the camp a lot more forward, so that way it's a more of a forest area back toward here where the campers can be. And I left the weeds there intentionally because in the forest, it's not all, perfectly, picked with all the weeds and everything else. So I think that looks good as it is right there. Now, I'm going to give you the dream address for this town, and that'll be what I keep saying. Well, that's going to be the final one. But, I mean, at this point, we've had Animal Crossing for a year. They added Festivale. They added the 1-year anniversary cake. But other than that, I didn't mean to do that. Whatever. They haven't, added... the cafe. They haven't added gyroids. There's a lot of things that from previous Animal Crossing games they still haven't added. And a lot of what I was doing, I was saving for when they do eventually add those things. So Rooster's Cafe with this current design right here, where would I put it? I don't know. So I basically finished off this town right here as if that were never going to get added because I don't know where it would go. Maybe more toward the museum. I would cover up the little lake that's around there. I don't really know. So we'll see what happens eventually. I'll take you through my house one more time. There's not really anything too different about it, but I still want to show you just for the sake of it there. But I don't know what they're gonna do. I mean, Animal Crossing. There's many hours that have been gotten from this game from people all around the world. I've put in over 250 hours. So they're not necessarily obligated to do anything new in terms of a massive content update. This looks the same. They don't need to do anything like that, but they could. They could add more stuff. But the cafe is one of the I want to have more buildings, right? I want to have more varieties of buildings to just be able to put across my town. So the cafe was probably the one that I'm like, okay, that seems like another cool thing to do every day, but that isn't something that will necessarily change the way the game works. It's not going to change the gameplay all that much. It's just another chore that maybe you would get bored with after, a little while, and that's kind of it. I did add some posters back here, so it's not just a plain white wall, so that's pretty good. But other than that, it's the same. So that's really, it's not going to change all that much. So I don't know what they could do to keep it spicy or interesting, especially if you've already played this game for hundreds of hours. I have no idea, but I would love to be able to do more things in the game. If anything, what would be really cool? Actually, now that I think about it, if they came out with a system in this app, right? Because the thing that people do is they go online, look for items to trade with other people on a third-party website, not involved with Animal Crossing or Nintendo at all. So what if there was a system where you could list your items online, ergo eBay, right? You could list your items on this app. You could look up a specific item, either from a specific seller via a specific code that the seller gives to you. So if you want to only sell it to one person, you can just, get the code and boom, there you go. Or it's like an open market sort of a forum. And then that way you can trade all these items and continue your collection that way. Because I don't want to have to go online and connect with someone like that. That's not safe, and I don't want to have to use another website. So what if there was something like that built into the game that would allow you to get more items and do more things? I think that would be great. Another big thing that I think they should do, you get the chance to have multiple recipes a day, right? So you have 3 times a day, there's a villager working on a recipe in a house. There's the recipe that washes up on shore occasionally. That's once per day. So between those four, I think there should be either a guaranteed shot or a significantly higher shot of you getting a recipe that you've never gotten before. The fact that I have all these different recipes in my game over here, and how many hours have I played this game? Let me see. Let me take a quick... I've played this for 230 hours, okay? You're telling me in 230 hours of gameplay, I don't have every single recipe in the game? There are still some super basic ones I still haven't gotten. There's still ones that are seasonal that I haven't got. Like at a certain point, they should just be like, all right, whatever you don't have, we're going to give you. There's no sense in having repeated recipes. There's really there's no reason for it, especially with how many hours people put into the game. So special items, I get you want to trade the color variations and whatnot, and that's where that app could really come into play. That's a Nook app. I'm not talking about like a cell phone, not this app. I mean in here. Like if there was another thing, boom, listed right here, you know? But I think something like that would be great, especially if a player is newer to the series and they missed out on a specific holiday, right? Something they actually did block off, in case you were curious. If you want to go to Bunny Day in 2019, or rather 2020, you can't. They locked it out. So once a holiday starts to get a little bit closer, they lock the previous year and they lock the upcoming year. So now, in order for me to participate in Bunny Day, I have to wait in real time in order for that to happen. Which I guess is fine if they want to keep people, you know, going with, you know, I don't know. Like, oh, be patient and, you know, enjoy it when it's here instead of skipping ahead and everything else. But what if someone's new and they really love Halloween and they want to get some Halloween items? You're telling me they're going to wait until, you know, 7 months from now? No, come on. So I think if there was some sort of app that you could swap items or list items for sale within reason, I think that would be really cool. But who knows if that'll ever happen. I don't know what else they could do to add overall gameplay. But that's basically everything in Animal Crossing. This is the entirety of my island as it is right here. Larry's house has not changed. The inside of Peach's castle is totally blank. And the only thing left to do now as I dig up these fossils is just to list the dream address and I guess call it a day. Call it a day, call it a playthrough. I don't really know. I mean, I don't really have any reasons to come back, at least as of right now. And now that we've completed an entire year of Animal Crossing, you are able to get every single fish, every single what's it called, bug. Getting all the fossils I already have, so like there's no sense in me digging up any of the other fossils ever again. I just dug those up so they would get out of the pathway there. But other, like, there's a lot of things that once you do a full year of Animal Crossing, you're kind of sort of done. For my island, I don't want to make a crazy complex island, right? I don't want to do stuff like that. I like having it be an actual island and it's inhabited, and I really like the vibe that I have. So there's nothing else major project-wise I really want to do that I feel inspired to do, other than maybe doing Peach's Castle, but that's not something that I think doing on video would be worth, you know, the actual... I want to show you the final product. Doing the process of that, not necessarily super interesting. So the dream address is right there, but by the time you're watching this, this will be updated. Let's update this, and this will be, as far as I know, the final, if not one of the final, dream addresses that I will ever have for Animal Crossing New Horizons, okay? And one little detail I forgot to leave out is if you're watching this video and you've reached this point, okay, I normally do rice pudding, all right, where that's my secret catchphrase. If you're watching across the internet, let me know the secret phrase rice pudding, right? But in this dream address that I'm showing you right here, this is it. So DA 7111-2657-0806. There is somewhere on Nahant where I have placed a whoopee cushion. The first person in the entire world to show me where the whoopee cushion is by using a screen capture on the Nintendo Switch. So you have to record it. See how it's recording right there? You hold down the share button. You have to go wherever the whoopee cushion is, sit on it, and show proof of exactly where it is. you will get an entire BricksOBrian sticker pack by any means of the internet. Reach out to me and let me know where the whoopee cushion is. Only the first person. So I'm probably going to get slammed with messages for the next 25 years of like, I found the whoopee cushion. So, you know, good luck finding it. But you'll get a whole plethora of BricksOBrian stickers that are, at least as of right now, are not released. So if you made it this far in the video, congratulations. There you go. Go find it using that dream address. Use the capture function. Let me know by any means of the internet, and that'll be good. So until next time in Animal Crossing New Horizons, I want to thank you guys and girls for listening, watching, and tuning in. I'm hoping they add some new content, some new things. I don't know what they could add, but people love Animal Crossing. It is a game that people have spent hundreds and hundreds of hours in, and is so worth investing your time into, especially to relax during the times that we are in. It is a perfect game for what has happened in the world since this game has come out. It's literally perfect. I have thoroughly enjoyed it, and I know that you have as well. So I'll probably be doing more videos on this. I just don't know. It won't be about now. I don't know. We'll see. So have a great day. Otherwise, keep on being the best possible version of you that you can be. And I'll talk to you next time. All right? Bye.